This is the Uptick Newswire Stock Day podcast, sponsored by InvestorsHangout.com. Subscribe to us on iTunes, Google Play, and YouTube to stay up to date on penny stock news and interviews, public information on OTC, pink sheets, and microcap stocks from around the world, with your host, Everett Jolly.
On today's show, I'm bringing you a brand new company that I discovered about 2 or 3 months ago. It's called ZincX Resources Corp. They were formerly known as Canada Zinc Metals Corp. Well, they trade on the OTC markets under the ticker symbol CZXMF. They also trade on the TSX Venture under the ticker symbol ZNX. And with us today is the president and CEO, Peeyush Varshney. Peeyush, welcome back to the show.
Thanks very much.
Give my listeners a little bit of about statement of what you guys do up there and what makes your company so special.
Sure. Okay. So we're a British Columbia-based zinc exploration company, and all of our assets are in British Columbia. We've, over the years, been able to put together and define a very significant zinc-lead silver deposit. It's now one of the largest undeveloped zinc deposits in the world, over 30 million tons of about 10% zinc lead. And, along with that, we have a massive district scale exploration package adjoining the main deposit. So it truly is a district scale exploration potential. And, along the way, we've been able to attract a number of major mining groups as shareholders, a lot of strategics. And we've now taken the deposit to a point now where we've commenced a PEA, preliminary economic assessment on the deposit, and that should be out, before the end of May.
So what are your upcoming catalysts? What do you guys plan on doing with that property?
Well, we're at a point now where, it's now advanced to a point where, we want to go underground on this thing, move it towards getting it fully permitted, get it to, indicated and measured, get it to basically shovel ready to construct a mine there. So, the first step along that path is going to be this PEA that, should be out before the end of May, and that'll put some high-level economics around the deposit. And certainly with that, coming up, we've been contacted by a number of large base metal mining groups who are certainly interested in those results and potentially talking to us once that's out.
Why are the interests of major mining groups so interested in your at-key property up there?
Well, that's a good question. The reality is, there are very few zinc names out there, and amongst those few, there's even fewer that have deposits that are attracting majors, because you need a certain scale, a size to the deposit, and that's something that we have at 30 million tons plus. You need a grade that's going to be attractive. So we're roughly about 8.5% zinc, 1.5% lead, and about 12 grams per ton silver. So the grade is there. And then you look at jurisdictions, and as you know, there's a lot of hostile jurisdictions right now where, governments are changing their tune, trying to claw back ownership of some of these deposits in more hostile environments. So we're in British Columbia, a very good mining environment. And again, majors are also looking for a deposit that is close to additional significant exploration packages, and that's what we have as well. So those four factors are the primary reason that we're being approached by these majors. It's of a scale, grade, jurisdiction, and district scale exploration potential that they're interested in.
Well, if you would educate myself and my listeners, do you guys farm that out? Do you do the construction yourself? Who's bringing that ore basically, to the marketplace? Well,
to this point, we've actually, although I've got a number of groups knocking on the door right now, we've actually already have as investors Teck Resources, the largest base metal mining company in Canada. They're a shareholder. Korea Zinc is a big smelting group out of Korea. They're a shareholder. And we have a state-owned enterprise out of China, Tongling Non-Ferrous Metals, as our largest shareholder. So we're attracting that kind of attention already as a junior exploration company. But again, I think that's all evidence to the quality of what we have and sort of the scale of that we get to for these companies. Now, along with that, we have in fact joint ventured a few of our early stage claims to Teck and Korea Zinc. So not only are they shareholders, but they've also earned in and now joint venturing 3 of our earlier stage claims. The main deposit, the Akai project, that remains ours 100%, but we have, in fact, done a farm out to Korea Zinc and Tech on some of the earlier stage claims.
Company that we're highlighting today here on Stock Day is ZincX Resources Corp, trade on the OTC markets under the ticker symbol CZXMF. They also trade on the TSX Venture under the ticker symbol ZNX. American price is 23 cents, very undervalued here. Speaking of valuations, your market cap's around $39-40 million. Can you give us a quote about where you think your valuation would be? And if I was listening to this interview, why should I go out and buy your stock?
Well, you're right. Our market cap currently is about $39 million US dollars. We've got $6 million in the bank, in the treasury. So that gives us an enterprise value of about $33 million.
Right.
There is an analyst at Echelon Wealth Securities in Toronto who recently put together a peer group comparison, and it was basically based on what the market's currently valuing, about a list of about 15 zinc juniors. And in that peer group valuation, I mean, on average, the peer group was receiving about 2.5 cents per pound of zinc in the ground valuation, while ZincX Resources has been receiving about 0.7 cent per pound of zinc in the ground. So we're trading at about 1/3 the valuation given to this peer group on average. So certainly, if you based it on that metric, it would suggest a share price of about 70 cents US today, just to be trading at the same valuation on average as the rest of the peer group. So we are significantly undervalued.
Yeah, I want to thank you for coming on the show. In closing, is there anything that we didn't get a chance to touch upon that you would like to illustrate to my listeners?
Well, again, I think, zinc itself, the market has been very bullish the last couple of years. The price of zinc achieved almost a 10-year high a few months ago. There's a real lack of new supply coming on stream, and some of the largest zinc mines in the world have, in fact, shut down due to being fully depleted of ore over the last couple of years. So there's a real imbalance in the supply and demand side, hence the increase in the price of zinc. And, we have a project here at ZincX Resources that, again, is attracting investment from major mining groups, and we've got a few more already knocking on the door right now in anticipation of this PEA. So, I do think it's a great investment opportunity if you're looking for exposure to zinc.
I want my listeners to take a look at the stock. I think it's undervalued here at 23 cents. Again, they trade on the OTC markets under the ticker symbol CZXMF. If you're up there in Canada, they trade on the TSX Venture under the ticker symbol ZNX. Peeyush, I want to thank you for coming by on the show. Please don't be a stranger. Come back 40 or 50 days and give us an update of what's going on up there.
Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate that, and I'll be happy to be back on the show.
This program is entirely sponsored and produced by Uptick Newswire LLC, which is responsible for the content. The opinions and information provided on this program are those of the guests and those of the respective companies they represent, and do not necessarily reflect those of the staff or management of Uptick Newswire. Uptick Newswire encourages all listeners of this program to do their due diligence and research when determining investment strategies that will work for them, or to seek the assistance of an investment professional. The guests of this program may have paid for its distribution and are not directly affiliated with Uptick Newswire or this station.